Hello. How is everyone doing? It's been a whole month again, and it feels like a lot longer than a month, but it's back. We're back. I'm back. Hello. Hi, everybody. Hello, Select Pet and Skull. Long time no see. Uncle Smileys. Hello, hello. It's I saw some people not that long ago. It's only been a week. Wow. Feels like a lot longer than a week ago. We were all just chilling together. Yeah, how is everybody doing? I hope y'all had a fantastic week at work. Uh, my new job, we get early dismissal on the first Friday of the month just because we have a staff meeting. So it's kind of nice. We get out a little earlier. So it makes these easier because I don't have to come home and, be half dead because dealing with middle schoolers all day is not fun. Well, it's both fun and not fun at the same time because I get to teach them and get to know them, but at the same time, sometimes they can get a little much, if you know what I mean. Yeah, people starting to funnel in. I know us being gone and back and then gone again was a little confusing, but when I saw how close, Aquashella was to PA, I was like, might as well just wait and talk about everything in one go rather than, us stream for not a week and then 2 weeks on and then another week off. And then it made more sense just to wait until, October, start a whole new month fresh. Same reason I haven't posted a new video. I wanted to wait for a new month. As you can see, I haven't even finished unpacking. It's still there. Also, the new logo. We got the shirts now. We still repping the old. We got the old on the side, and then the back. You can't see the back is the banner art, but they're pretty nice. I'm liking working with Spreadshirt. They allow for a lot of nice creativity when it comes to shirts. Not as much as the other site I was using. It was a Shopify, I think. But this one allows for you as the people buying to have a lot more options for different types of shirts. Like they have the ones with the stars and stripes on the shoulders and arms. It's kind of nice. Also, I got a gift when I was in PA from our very own science gal, Miss Carrie. I'm going to move this way. I don't know if you can still hear me when it's over there. She's got her crochet business. She did very good. She got most of her stuff sold. So here we have my gift from Science Gal here. This is all one handmade crocheted little guy. And it was my gift from her because it almost looks like a particular little creature from a particular show that thou shalt not name. But he's going to sit right here and chill out with us. I've also started making Gundam models. I'm that kind of geek now where I'm doing models as well. So fun things there. Gil's Garden, hello. Hope you're doing well. Building a new stand. Are you building it from scratch or is it a particle board one, a full wood one, or is it a metal one? Let me know. But yeah, so Aquashella Jersey was insane. For those of you that don't know, this is the first time they've come to the Northeast. And I hope they come back because they beat every record from their shows in the past, which the fact that they had more people in Jersey than they had in Dallas, because Dallas is usually their biggest show for those that don't know, is insanity. They had a whopping 7,662 attendees in New Jersey. It was packed. This picture is pretty much how it was all day Saturday. The aisles were a decent size. I would say they were maybe 20, 25, somewhere between there, wide this way. So you had a nice aisle to walk with. I will say the way they had the booths were a little packed. So like if you went in a booth, it was very hard to then get out of the booth. Oh, that looks terrible. We'll go with, no, I'm still look tiny. We'll just go back to this one. So when you were in a booth, most of the people had their booth set up like a U. So if you went in on this side, it was one-way traffic. It was that packed. So if you went in, you kind of had to know what you wanted, or you could look and people would go around you and kind of look around you. It reminded me of some of the swaps I've gone to down at that fish place with Bucks County, where it's super packed. And once you go past a booth, you then have to make a whole loop before you can do another. Ooh, from scratch 2x4 plywood. Oh, nice. I've yet to make one from scratch, but I hear 2x4s is the way to go. I would love to build the whole room, but I have no space unless I can somehow convince the parental units to give me like a 10 by 10 in the basement, and then I could just have a couple tanks in here and actually have a room downstairs. But yeah, Jersey was insanity. It again looked, this was the entirety of Saturday. After the VIP people, the people that bought the early bird pass, which is VIP, came in an hour early like usual. Once that ended and the general admission opened up, it was like the floodgates opening up after, Katrina or something, because it was just people all day from 11 to what, 5 or 6, whenever the show ended. It was crazy. Chicago had a lot of people, but there were a lot less people than that. And it felt like Chicago wasn't, this wasn't overwhelming with people. Chicago, when I went, felt really overwhelming, but I think it's just the way they had things set up. But there was also a lot of open space in Chicago. This didn't have as much. They had a lot of open space in like the back here. This was like where they put the food people in the back, and then just like a little seating area, and the main stage I think was back there for some of the talks and stuff. But aside from that, it was standing room only. It was elbow to elbow traffic at all the booths. The vendors pretty much all, I want to say most, if not all, had sold at least 65, 75% of what they had day one for Aquashella. I know I was across. So Carrie and I were there at the creator booth the whole time, and Garcia was there. There were a couple of other people that showed up. There was a seahorse lady that came. There was somebody else that came. Unfortunately, I forget your name. I'm sorry. I'm terrible with names. I still haven't learned all my kids' names, and I only have 70 of them this year. I've had far less in the past. So if it was you, I'm sorry. But yeah, so we were in like the third row, I think. And then across from us was Small World Aquatics, who I've always make sure to buy stuff from at shows. I'm looking around frantically to see if I have anything with their logo on it. I know they gave me a towel. Now I can't find it. Oh, where'd it go? But anyway, yeah. So they were there, and she and her new partner for business, they had so much stuff. She does a lot of guppies, endlers. She does plecos, bristle noses, and then she has Corys now, tetras. What else? She has a lot of stuff. She'll do some worm cultures and stuff. She has botanicals. They were going nonstop Saturday. Then Sunday came. Usually Sunday, it's a slower day. Like there's not as many people that go on Sundays because Saturday's usually the bigger day. And you get, usually you get to the mid-afternoon and there's like a lull of people. That lull of people never came on Sunday. It was almost as consistent as Saturday was. You had a little more room to breathe, but not by much. I would say maybe 10, 15% less foot traffic on Sunday. It was still packed to the nines, to the point where they pretty much went home with they bring like those big totes with fish in them so that they can have their display fish, and then as people buy stuff, they replenish it. I think, I could be wrong, I think they only ended up going home with like one tote of fish. Not positive if that's true or not, but I think that's what I remember. Or was somebody else? There was one guy when you walked in and like banged a right somewhere, he was selling plants. He had this whole middle rack of stuff with like big swords and Valen all over it. That was all sold out before Saturday ended. I looked over and I'm like, oh my God, that was full of plants. They are now gone. It was just crazy to see how many people showed up in the beginning of September in the Northeast for a fish convention. Now, yes, there were complaints about admission. There were complaints about the amount of people, but I'd rather there be more people, like a lot of people, than no people, to like show these people that it's worth coming back up to this area. Because Chicago was the closest one to the majority of like this area of the Northeast. So like the New England middle colony area. So like New York, Jersey, PA, Delaware, Connecticut, all that stuff. Chicago was the closest one for us. Florida was right on the second closest, depending on which of those states you were. Florida, I think, was like a 17, 19-hour drive for me, whereas Chicago was only 15. So they're both around the realm of the same thing. Hello, new local Austin. What's going on? Hope you're doing well. So it's nice that they were able to come up here and completely slash their records out of the park for attendees. And it's just amazing by like the margins they did it by, because people have been scared to do shows in this neck of the woods because there was one show, I can never remember the name of it. They had a show that week before the entire world shut down because of COVID. That was when they had a show and like a bunch of people canceled. Ed did I didn't need an aquascape there. We did like an upside down or something. Those people's show basically closed. And because of that, like no one's wanted to come back here, which is insanity because it happened during COVID. Everything shut down. So it's just nice that they came up here and blew it out of the park. And I'm hoping either they keep it in the rotation, and even if they come back every other year, or I don't know, maybe add a fourth show if they can swing that. Like, do your Midwest one, do somewhere in the South, do your West Coast one, and then do the one here. Even if it's not the same state all the time, keep it remotely in the, like, not the tri-state area, but somewhere in that general vicinity of where they were. And the only other problem, there was another show going on, and like people got mixed. That was like a home show or something. People got mixed in with the home show in the attendance line for Aquashella. So as the Aquashella people are going through, scanning people in, they're like, "Oh no, the line. This isn't the line for that. This is the line for, the one next door." And the home show was free entry. So why people thought there would be like 1,000 people standing in line for home shows beyond me. So those people would then had to be ushered out. And, it was like our door was here. Their door was literally 10 feet to the left. And there was signage, but you know how people are. They don't read. So people just got mixed in. It was very nice. Hello, Bruiser. Hope you're doing well. I think it's the Big Fish deal, but I can never remember because there was Aquatic Expo, which I don't think, no. There was the Big Fish deal. There was like Aquatic something, but it's probably the Big Fish deal. Yeah. Jersey and England have been known as the region that fish. Yeah. This is the statement I've heard so many times, that New Jersey and New England is the place the fish show goes to die. And I'm really hoping, and I do think they did break the curse, that they came here. They probably had 8,000 people, and they're just being very conservative with their number. Because I don't think they included in that attendee number, I don't think it includes vendors. It probably didn't include anyone that was there as a creator or considered a creator. I don't think they included kids in the number. So it was probably closer to 8. But again, I don't think they wanted to include all those other people because they didn't technically pay to be there. Or if they did, it wasn't the same. I don't know how they did it. But I think they probably had closer to 8, and they're just being very nice with their numbers. Most of the feedback for it was also positive, which is another good sign. Really, the only negatives that I saw, because I was on the Facebook page when I was scrolling through, because it was basically Carrie and I sat at the booth. Garcia would, come by, hang out for a little bit, and then go walk around. The majority of the people that I saw complaining while I was, doom scrolling Facebook for a little while, was that the venue wasn't big enough, and that admission took too long. Part of the problem, I think somebody said, was that the first day they had like an issue with their whatever they were using to scan passes. It was the Wi-Fi or something wasn't working. Once they got that fixed, I think it went a lot faster. And the venue not being big enough isn't really the show's fault, because usually with these venues, you tell them, this is how much space we need, blah, blah, blah. And if you're the first time using a vending space, they may not want to give you the full space. And honestly, if they did give Shella both sides, I think it would have been too spaced out. Like, it just would have been way because the way it had it was a big room, but then there was like a black curtain almost that's like a soft wall kind of separated the two shows. And I think had they given them the whole area, even if they spaced things out, the problem wasn't really the space. The problem was more so the size of the actual vendor areas and how vendors had things set up. So anybody that had that like classic U shape kind of going on would have ran into the same problem, even if they had more space. Because even if the vendors were pretty much on top of each other, which they usually are at the Shellas, even if they move the vendors apart like this just makes another aisle. That doesn't solve the problem of you go indoor of vending space, you can't really go anywhere. So unless they made the vendor areas themselves per booth like wider, but I don't even think that would solve the problem. It was just that many people. So again, spacing things, if they spaced things out, it wouldn't have solved the problem people are complaining about. And I don't think it would have done what people think it would have done. It would have just made it so it was further for people to walk, and you may not have found what you were looking for. Because even Carrie and I looked. It took us almost all of day one to find where Father Fish's booth was. I had to pull up the map, and I'm looking at the map. I'm like, okay, it's supposed to be back here. And like we walked up and down every aisle, and we couldn't find it. Then I looked at the map. I'm like, okay, it's over here. And then we finally were able to get to it, but it was just like, oh, it was back there. So I can only imagine if it was a wider area to cover. And it was the way they had it set up this time was kind of nice because usually they didn't have the, the neon tunnel that they're known for, but they still had the elements like kind of spaced out around it, it was nice to still see that they were there. So when you walked in the main entrance and got yourself your badge and whatever, to the right, when you first came in, was all just saltwater, the neon stuff, some of the artists. So if you were there for saltwater, you didn't have to go in the back or anywhere. You could just go in and you were right there, which I thought was kind of nice because usually I feel like personally, there's a lot more people that do freshwater, at least in our circle. So for them to kind of be courteous, I'll say, to the saltwater people and just have it right up front, to me was a nice thing. And that area, there were less vendors, and most of those people, it's straight table. It's not U or weird shape of table. So there wasn't as much traffic, I think, over there from what I saw versus freshwater and plants. And they had a lot of reptiles too. It was kind of nice that this is probably, I've only been to 1, 2, I don't remember how many shells I've been to, but it was nice they had reptiles there. Because it seems like there's a little more crossover with, fish and reptiles these days than there have been in the past. So they had reptiles kind of scattered throughout. They had the freshwater people. They had, like if you were apparel people, they kind of tried to thematically, I guess, put people, and it worked out pretty well. I think it was just amazing the amount of people. And I didn't think they were that high of people. I really thought, okay, maybe they had about 5,000, but for them to come out and be like, yeah, we had almost 8,000, it was rather impressive. And I do really hope that it showed them and other people that fish shows in New England, or not New England, but the Northeast. If I say New England and it's Jersey, I'll be kicked out of Connecticut. It's nice that this to me shows not only Aquashella, but maybe other shows that are smaller that have thought about coming here, that it is definitely viable to come back up this way. And people are always like, oh, it's going to be so expensive and blah, 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 blah. It wasn't expensive because of where they chose it. If they went to a big city, if they went to Pittsburgh or Philly or God forbid, NYC or Boston, because people are throwing those two around. First of all, ew. Second of all, no. If you go to a big city, hotels are going to gouge the ever living heck out of you for prices. This hotel was the cheapest stay I have had at a big event like this. When I used to go down to Atlanta for a gaming convention, for a three night, 4 day stay, it would run me $1,200 to $1,500. Same with Acapella, Chicago. I got there. I did what, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, checked out Sunday. Or no, I did Friday, Saturday, Sunday, checked out Monday. So again, 3 nights, 4 days. That ran me $1,500. This one, because the rooms were like still $400 a night, even with the group rate, it was still like $400 for those rooms. This place, I want to say it was sub $200. I want to say it was like 150 to 175. I know it was under 200. It was between 150 and 200. And it was nice. Plus it was close. 2-hour drive from me, which is great. But it was cheap because they didn't go to a giant city. If they go to a Philly or a Pittsburgh, the hotel's going to jump back up to $350, $400 a night. If they go to NYC or Boston, I wouldn't be surprised if you're paying $500, $600 a night. It's insane how location to a show is that impactful. Now, yes, it was nice and convenient that Chicago Hotel and Convention Center are connected, but this wasn't bad. The hotel was only like a 3 or 5 minute drive. Like you took a right out of the hotel, you banged another right, drove down the road a piece and took another right. And then you're right there at the convention hall. So I would hope that they either look at the same venue again, maybe get a little more space, not gigantic amount of space, because I don't think that would have solved the problem. But hello, Monsterfish. I hope you're doing well. And Craig, hello. I don't know if I said hello to you, but it's just, I think they strategically picked a good place that you're not too, because Jersey has the touristy traps. Like if they did Atlantic City, which someone also suggested, again, it's going to be a little more pricey because Atlantic City is a tourist destination. They picked a place that's right next to Metuchen, New Jersey. Unless you're from New Jersey or this area, you don't know where the hell Metuchen is. But that's a good thing. Like, even if I know they're not going to come to Connecticut, but if they came to Connecticut, don't go to Hartford. Don't go to Waterbury. Those are the only 2 cities I would even consider, because Bridgeport, everybody would be getting, robbed. But pick a nice city that's a small city that's not a destination. It's like, don't do Mystic, don't do Groton, do somewhere that's not one of the big places that people vacation. The fact that people even come here to vacation is another thing. Don't get me started. But like, Chicago's nice, but it's expensive. I can only imagine what the California show is costing people for hotels. Florida, I know they did Daytona. They did Daytona, right? Yeah. I don't think that one was overly expensive. But again, Daytona's got the NASCAR people, so I'm sure that's, craziness. Oh, let's see. Select Pet said something. Where was it? I see it. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see. Do you think it's better to have people selling similar things side by side or space them out? I've always thought spread them out so vendors don't feel they're competing with each other. So I think it does depend. I more so feel like I view it kind of like a grocery store where you want things in a similar location. I go to other conventions where they have like artist alleys and stuff. They're all selling art. So of course everyone's, grouped. I think so. I'll try to remember. So the aisle that we were in, I guess I could just look at the map. Because I feel like they spread it out decently. It wasn't super crazy. Let me see. Okay. Let's look at the map. Oh, it won't let me zoom. Now it'll let me zoom. Zoom. All right, I'm gonna make myself small. I'll in charge of swap layouts. Okay. So I'll talk about swaps for a second. So when I when I went to like CCY swaps, for instance, it it felt like when they do their swaps, they typically had like vendors that had like decor and stuff were on one side, and then you would have, they kind of put it so it was, plant people in the middle, fish people this way. And I think it is good to have it somewhat together. Oh, you can't really read this map because I zoomed it in. Oh, this map isn't the best, but let's look at this map. So again, they had all the coral stuff over in this, or you can't see where my mouse is, in a this early direction. So all the coral, this is the main entrance here, where this pink little line is. When you came in, all the coral was here. So all the frag people were pretty much in one spot. Then, they had things spread out. But for the most part, I want to say, so we were here. This green blob was ours. This was beta people here. This was plant people here. This is Small World's booth here, who does Tetras, smaller fish. Next to her was, I want to say it was Super Cichlids, maybe? So, but they had more dry goods and things. This guy over here had bigger fish. So I guess maybe if you're setting up, it kind of would make sense. Like, okay, this row, we're going to kind of have like one thing of everything. So have some person that does smaller fish, have some person that does medium, like community kind of fish, and then maybe have someone that does cichlids. And then your next row over do kind of like a similar thing. It's like do a plant, a beta, and a cichlid or something, which is kind of what they did, I feel like. And then these guys here, Dustin was here. There were a lot of plant people. Like if you wanted plants, this was the place to go because they had plants everywhere. Or this way works too, honestly. I guess it really all depends on what show you want to have. I'm trying to think back. I didn't move too much. Once Carrie and I planted ourselves at the booth, we really didn't move. Or I didn't. Carrie got up and moved a lot more than I did. She was a much better content creator that time. She got up and took pictures and videos and stuff. And it is very nice and refreshing that they do have her back in charge of all that stuff. But yeah, I guess if you I guess it's kind of a catch-22, I feel like. Because from a shopper's perspective, if I'm looking for community fish, I would prefer all the community fish to be in one lane or one aisle. And then if I wanted to get plants, I would hope that all the plants would be in one space. I think it also would come down to what people are bringing. Like if you have one vendor that sells majority Anubias, and you have another vendor that's a plant guy that has kind of a mixed mosh, but has a good chunk of Anubias, I don't think I'd want them side by side because then I would be saying, okay, well, this guy has this same plant for $10, but this guy's selling it for 15. They both are the same size. They both look as well. Then for me, it either comes down to just purely cost, or I've started asking about water conditions now. I've gotten so tired of buying fish from places and having them die that I don't know why I didn't do this all the time. But now whenever I buy something from people, I will say, what are your water parameters in your tanks like? Because for those that don't know, I have extremely acidic water and soft. My TDS is about 13. And then my pH comes out of the tap at 6 and usually goes down to 5.5 if I don't touch the water with anything. So if I go somewhere and they're breeding fish and they have fish at home and they're kept in 8.0 pH and they've got hundreds of TDS, I bring them home, put them in my tanks. Oh, I gotta end that stupid thing. They just die. Like they last for maybe a month if I'm lucky, but then they just go and they die on me, which is not nice. I wish fish didn't do that to me. I need to turn that timer off because that ended forever ago. Yeah, it's off. Woohoo! We'll turn this one back on instead. So yeah, I guess it would depend on what they have. I personally, again, I would rather the aisle kind of thing, but maybe doing like a no, I'm not raising discus or ramps. I don't keep either one. Most of what I keep are tetras. Speaking of tetras, I do want to pull up Small Water Aquatics' website here because again, I met her at a CCY swap 4 years ago now, and I bought some plecos from her. I want to say 2 of the 3 plecos didn't survive the trip home, but now I'm 5 hours away from where the swaps were. The next time I saw her, she remembered me, and she was like, "Here's some replacement plecos." I didn't know what to ask, so I always make sure to buy something from her. She's got a great selection of things, so I was nice to see her at. I wasn't expecting to see her at Aquashella, honestly. I didn't look up anything for Aquashella. I was planning on going and just hanging out with somebody who didn't end up going. So I didn't look at vendors or anything. I know I was going to see Carrie and I didn't know who else would be there. So I went, she was there. We ended up being across from each other. So it was kind of nice to get to talk to her more and hang out with her more and meet her new business partner who breeds other kind of fish than she did. So this is her website. So I picked up some of these. First of all, I picked up a longfin lemon blue eye. Or it was a short fin. But I picked up one of these because I have wanted a blue eye lemon pleco forever. But they're so expensive online. So I went, and when I saw she had them, I was like, ooh, I want one. So I ended up getting one of these from her. It's chilling in the tank behind me. He's living his best life. He's loving it. Lost one pleco out of many of the 12-hour drive home. All the $5 ones made. Of course. Isn't that how it always happens? The first time I went to PA, Susie and I bought king tigers or some L-numbered pleco. I get home, mine didn't last a day in the tank. I don't know if Susie still has hers. But yeah, I'm weary about buying. Does this make me not? I want to find one that doesn't make me look. I'll just move over here and I'll make it bigger if I have to. I don't like spending all this money on fish for them to die. Plus, I feel bad for the fish. So that's why I like to, when I go to the same place, I know like there's people I can trust with, their fish don't die on me. Because usually now I've gotten a lot of stuff from Small World. Everything comes out great. I don't have to worry about fish dying. So I finally got myself a longfin lemon blue eye. Hello, Aquatic News Network. What is going on? These guys. So I saw these. She had these at Aquashella. They did not look like this because, of course, they're in a not their home. They're a little stressed out. So they kind of were more like just your run-of-the-mill, like, silver-looking tetra. Hey, Vanoski. I made the mistake of taking my phone and being like, oh, let me look up what these look like. I Googled them. And when you Google this fish, they come up with, like, the most beautiful, deep red, like, pumpkin orange almost. And it is crazy. So let me see if I can find the picture I saw. So this is what I saw when I went on. I saw these, and I'm seeing these super deep red fish some that are more like an auburn orangish. But I'm like, oh my goodness, those look beautiful. It almost reminded me of a Serpe, but had a slightly different body. So these were not cheap. They were pretty pricey, as you can see, but they were worth it. So I think I got 6 or 8 from her. They are now chilling in this tank over here, and they have a beautiful orange. They are probably kind of like this color orange almost, or like the brick orange right now, or brick red. They look amazing. I was worried because they're a $30 fish. They're doing great. They add a nice color to this tank because this tank had mostly silver guys in it, or like beigey colored fish, grays. I love them. They're an absolute beautiful fish. So they were definitely well worth it. But again, I was expecting like, I'd be like, oh, and I look them up and I'm like, oh goodness, now I have to have some. I didn't get any of these guys. Oh, yeah. The Small World towels, they're soft. I don't know where I have mine somewhere. I don't know where I put the darn thing though. Where'd I put you? It's around. She gave me one at the whatchamoosit, but I have one somewhere. It's a very nice soft towel. It's very absorbent too. So what else did I get? I got some tiger spade endlers from her. These beautiful little guys. I know they're little boring fish, but to me, I like them. I'm not doing guppies anymore. I'm sticking with the endlers. And I did talk with them, and I was like, "What is your guys' pH for these?" Hello, Lisa. I hope you're doing well this evening, and that you guys are getting all settled in and ready at your place. So I got some of these from her because I'm tired of guppies, guys. I'm done with guppies. I'm going to make it my life's mission on this platform to tell people to stop buying guppies because they just die all the time now. So I wanted endlers. I got some of these. They're chilling with some white clouds, and they're doing great. We also got ourselves some Santa Maria, finally. I probably had these at 1.2, but they probably died on me. I got some of these guys. They're in a 10 up hither. I'm gonna help her take better pictures, maybe. But yeah, and honestly, I think prices are reasonable. See, that was the question that they posed to me as well. So Scott is her new bid spreader. God, I hope his name is Scott. I can't remember. He asked me the same thing because I told him what my water was, and he was like, "Wow." He said, "Do I add crushed coral? So do I calcify my water for guppies?" I do not. And the reason I don't or didn't, I got guppies from PetSmart. They did fine in my water. I got guppies from Thailand. They did fine in my water. That was the purple Moscow mosaic, whatever the heck they were, is that I was breeding for a while. They bred like crazy in my soft water. I got guppies from, oh dear, I have to look at the sticker. From HC down in Hawaii. Those did not last. I bought guppies from a bunch of people, and anyone I bought from the States didn't last. Anything I bought international or at PetSmart was fine. So I didn't calcify my water. I then tried putting like a filter sock thingy mabobber of crushed coral in a tank for this very reason. And even that didn't help. So I don't know. There must just be something in my water that guppies just don't like. And I do also blame it, kind of like same thing we've been saying with betas, that they've been overbred I feel like they've also been overbred a bit because everyone wants, certain very specific colors and very specific tails and all this stuff. And I feel like that has also done a detriment to them as well, because muck guppies do fine in my water. Well, see, that's the other. So, crushed coral oyster. I have platy. There's a platy right there. You can kind of see him right there. I have platies from Small World. They're doing fine in that tank. I have mollies and swordtails that do fine in this water. It's and the endlers are doing fine. It's literally just the guppies that don't like my water. And even with trying crushed coral and other things that add the calcium and raise the pH a bit and do all that stuff, they just still within a month, if not sooner, just kind of keel over and die on me. So I'm going back to my roots and just kind of sticking with tetras, cory cats, things from the Amazon, things from other places that I know are in nature anyway or from soft water. Just because I don't want to kill any more fish. I don't know, Lisa. I wouldn't I, I don't want to tempt it with any more guppies. That's why I'm trying to switch to the 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 endlers and things now. So I got those. I was going to pick up a pair of these. Not these. Yes, no. Yes, I was gonna pick up a pair of these at the Clash down in PA, but I waited too long and they were gone. I also got some of these guys. I believe these are Scots, I think. Um, these I got for my school tank. They're beautiful. Mine more so look like this right now, but he did say his are starting to color up. Beautiful black barb endler, or yeah, black barb endlers. Black barbs he had, or black ruby barbs. Again, this is another one. I looked on Google. I shouldn't have looked on Google. I saw pictures of them where they're this beautiful, deep, deep purple with some pink hues in them. I had to get some. So I got some of those for my school tank. I love them. The kids love them. The kids keep thinking that they're like a little mini bass, which is hilarious. I didn't. I got. I did get. No, I got these guys. Did I get these? Yeah, the false bandit cories I got from her too. Those guys are in the 40 behind me. They're doing great. They just. She's got such nice fish. I can't hype her up enough. And it's so nice that she's been able to expand and grow out her business. What else did I get? I got these guys too, these black striped tetras. These are also in the school tank. Yeah, these guys are also in the school tank. I wanted tetras because I know that they are harder to kill, in my opinion. So I got these guys. I thought they looked really simple and cool, and the kids seem to like them too. And again, prices are not that bad. I got some black barb endlers. Black bar, not barb. Excuse me. I just thought they looked nice. Really nothing fancy there. It was funny. I kept standing there. I was like, I want this. I want this. I want this. And next thing I know, there's just bags upon bags of fish everywhere. And then I'm like, oh goodness, this is going to be an expensive bill. And, you know, they're both, he's just egging me on to get more. She sells that's bags too, like the reusable bags. She starts putting them all in. I was like, oh, that's a lot of fish. There is she took a picture, but I don't know if she put it on Instagram or where she put it, but there is a picture of me holding this bag. It came out like over $400 in fish, which is the most I've ever spent at a show on fish. Oh yeah, they when I added these guys to the tank after Aquashell at the beginning of the month, the kids are like, "Oh my god, you got bass!" And I was like, "No, they're not. They're barbs, but sure." They had never seen a cory cat before, so when they saw the cory cats, they're like, "Oh, those look really cool. They look like little mini catfish." And I went up to them. I'm like, "That's because they are catfish." Because I have some kids that go fishing, so they're equating them to things they've seen, and I'm like, "Yeah, they are catfish, guys." I'm seeing them. See what else did I get? Like I said, I got a lot of stuff from her. Let's see. I didn't. She has these rummy nose. I did not get any. I was tempted to get some, but I did not. Up. I didn't get any white clouds. Didn't get any smudge spot cories, but it was nice to see all the cories and stuff that she got added. She may not have everything on here. I didn't get any carry. I almost got some carry tetras last week, but I did not. I almost got some pineapple swordtails. Stop myself, did not. Oh, I got false Julie Corys. These guys. These are what I have at school, and they're just gorgeous. Beautiful Cory cat. It's nice that it's also all homebred and that I can be like, yeah, I know the person that raised these. It's pretty cool. And that I don't have to worry about, again, them dying because I trust that her stuff's going to be good. Let's see, what else? I was going to get some emeralds. Decided not to. Oh no, these guys. I was going to get the gardener Achilles because mine have since passed downstairs when I was breeding them. Wanted some, waited too long, didn't end up getting any, sadly. But now that I know she has them, and that I see that she has a website that they ship fish on, I might just have to get some. They just have some stuff that doesn't look like it was on the website. She had some other kind of live bearer, but I can't remember what kind they were. She does shrimp too. I don't know that I've gotten her shrimp before. I might have. I just can't remember. Hers might be the ones that are alive in my basement. I honestly don't know whose those are. So everyone that doesn't know, shrimp like guppies do not like me. I have one 5-gallon tank downstairs that has a bunch of Anubias in it, some Java fern, and a sponge filter. I have not touched that tank in 3 years. 3 or 4 years now. It has just been in the basement, and I have it saran wrapped because at one point I had fish that like to jump out in it. So I put saran wrap on the hole so the fish wouldn't jump out. So when water evaporates, it just eventually, or when water evaporates, it just, condenses back in. So I tried shrimp from basically everybody we know on here. Everybody that has a store, everybody has a channel, I got shrimp from. I got shrimp from everybody I know. I got shrimp from online. I got shrimp from Akahuna. I got shrimp from Live Fish Direct. Everybody. Went to a show, talked to somebody, and I was like, my shrimp don't live. They keep dying. Grant and Shelby tried to help me. He gave me shrimp, or I bought shrimp, or he gave me. I can't remember anymore. Sabu gave me shrimp. I think I got shrimp from Small World. I got shrimp from like 3 people at the same show one time. So I don't know whose shrimp are alive, but this one tank downstairs, I thought everything was dead in, and it had, Bloody Mary shrimp. I go downstairs, and I'm doing work on other tanks, and I look over, and there's this fat shrimp, and it wasn't this big, but it was darn near the size of this. Not this big, but it'd be half the size of this. It was like this big, half the size of this nail clipper. It was huge, and then I saw, and there were all eggs on her. So I have a colony downstairs. I just don't touch the tank. I leave it alone. I have tried both Neocaridina and Caridina shrimp in my water. This is the only tank that I can keep Bloody Marys in. Amano shrimp, love me. Bamboo shrimp, love me. I've tried Ridley shrimp. I've tried the Bloody Marys. I've tried a bunch. This is the only tank that the Bloody Marys live in. And the Amanos I put in all my tanks, they do fine. Bamboo shrimp, same thing. I'm just convinced shrimp don't like me. And unless I want to spend the money to do all the, the craziness with the soils and the special water and all that stuff, which I don't want to. I like the fish that are low maintenance, easy, low maintenance. Don't require. Granted, yes, I have a tank of African cichlids that have crushed coral in it. But that to me isn't that. I just throw the crushed coral in, the fish are fine. I don't want to go through so much work for fish that I barely ever see. Because unless it's a very tiny tank, I don't feel like I'd see them all the time. Like, I constantly see fish in both these tanks. Even the eel I see, and he's buried in the substrate most of the time. So at this point, I don't want to go through the craziness of all the special soils and stuff for shrimp. It just, to me, doesn't seem like it's worth it. But yes, she does have shrimp as well. Like I said, I can't remember if her shrimp are alive. She does do plants. There's her little cute little sticker and logo. I don't think I got any plants from her this time. I will occasionally get plants and stuff from her. She has her lime worm, blah, 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 blah. She has her live worm cultures. Ew, no thank you. I don't want to deal with worms. I'll stick with my, Hikari freeze-dried worms. She does do dried botanicals and stuff too. She has these cute little nets. Hello, mountain greenery. What's going on? She's got these cute little nets. I think I have like 2 or 3 at this point. She has her own spawning mops. She's got, the typical botanicals, the leaves, all that stuff. Does she? She does not have the towel on here. I should have bought a shirt from her. I don't know why. Oh, she has the towel. It's right there. I should have bought a shirt from her. I don't know why I haven't yet. I'll have to get one. But yeah, this is the famous towel that Select was talking about. It's a nice size towel. It's not a typical washcloth size. It's more like a tea towel size where it's a little bit bigger. And I wish I could find mine. But again, I don't know for the life of me where I stuck it in here. This is this come on picture. This be her fish room. I think this is or this might be Scott's. I don't know. This is one of their fish rooms. It's a very nice. She has a nice setup. She has an Instagram. If you go follow it, you can find all her goodies and stuff with our. Actually, I should probably have just dropped a link to their website. I don't know why I didn't do that. I'm gonna do that real quick. But yeah, that was a lot of talk about Shella and Small World Aquatics. But yeah, definitely check her out. She's a very nice person. Very chill, fun to talk to. Talk about fish, talk about really anything. And she has 3D printed little jubes that she gives to the kids. They're little fishy thingies. It's very nice. She's in a boot right now though. She hurt her foot. I thought she'd be out of the boot by Pennsylvania, but she wasn't. PA was it was interesting. I'll say that. It definitely did not feel the same as it has in the past. It was nice to see everybody. It was nice to see the wedding. It was just different. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. That it was different and weird and interesting. But I only have probably about 30 or so seconds because John and Lisa go live at 8 o'clock. So I'm going to happily send you all over there to hang out with them and talk about fish some more once their link is no longer on my homepage. Why dost thou hate me, YouTube? It's okay. I can still type pretty quick. Why? I just clicked away from it. I have lost my touch, y'all. Anyhoozle, here is their live stream linkage. You should all definitely go hang out over there and talk about making your own decisions and stop listening to all us crazy people. I don't know if that's actually what they're talking about, but the title of the stream is Make Your Own Decisions, Don't Be a Follower. So definitely head over there, say hello, hang out with some more cool fish people. I will see you possibly next week, maybe, question mark. I don't know yet. I will do posts on Instagram, Facebook, and the community page again. Also, before I go, thank you all for interacting on the community page or the community link page, post, whatever it's called. It's very cool to put the opinion questions out there and get everyone's answers on it. And it's just cool to interact with people. I've been loving commenting on stuff over there. So if you're one of the people that is kind of lurking and just commenting on posts, I see you. I love talking to you guys. And I will possibly